This is a hell of a co-meet event. We got Sean Brady taking on Michael Chiesa, and you and I can't wait to see how this one plays out because we know the last time we saw Michael Chiesa, it was a tough evening. It was UFC 265, and he ended up losing that fight by finish to Vicente Luque. Caught him in that nasty Darce choke, and it was lights out for Chiesa. But if you remember, I mean, Chiesa had his opportunities in that contest. He just happened to, run into Luque at the wrong time, and this is a guy who's absolutely just on a tear. And Chiesa had a nice four-fight win streak before that. Ran up against Neil Magny in a main event, made light work of Neil Magny. That was just dominance, start to finish, and a really just impressive showing from the Maverick in that one. And the wins he picked up over Rafael Dos Nachos, Diego Sanchez, and Carlos Condit before that were all pretty sweet. So his 18-5 record is impressive. I mean, this is a guy who won the Ultimate Fighter, and is proving to be a levels test for a lot of guys, but if you notice his losses, he's a guy who is prone to submission losses, having many submission victories himself, and someone who is nasty on the ground and been finishing dudes with a lot of submissions himself is Sean Brady, right? 14-0, just submitted Jake Matthews, who's a very tough veteran, super tough to put out, and he made light work of him with that slick arm triangle choke, and he did the same thing to Christian Aguilera and has a lot of finishes on the ground before that. So how do you see this one playing out? Because Sean Brady has a lot of hype, deservedly so. I mean, this guy looks phenomenal, but Chiesa, is going to be coming in this one pretty pissed off, given how that fight against Luque just went. So who are you going with in this one?
Yeah, this is such a great fight and a true levels test for Sean Brady. Like, this is gonna Brady's gonna go in there, and be like, "Hey, I'm the new king in town." If he can absolutely smack Chiesa, I would love to see him versus Vicente, and then winner of that gets a title shot. That to me would make the most sense. But because Chiesa has looked unstoppable until that last fight when Luque went in there and I mean, he just showed how sick he truly is, and people think he's just an assassin on the feet, but no, he's an assassin on the ground as well as we saw. I think Sean Brady is on a whole other level when it comes to grappling compared to Luque, and if Luque get it done on the ground, I have no reason to believe that Sean cannot get it done on the ground. And I really believe Sean Brady has a better stand-up game, hits harder, better endurance on the striking game on the feet. So I think Maverick is going to try to take him down and then realize this guy is like a Hamzat type guy, and then he's either going to get knocked out or just absolutely pummeled and manhandled. It'll be interesting because on the other hand, you have Michael Chiesa who's 6'1", he's bigger, he's got a longer reach. Maybe he's working on that Chris boxing. He absolutely just smacks him because it's a levels test like Corey Anderson versus Johnny Walker. I could totally see that happening in a fight like this. But I'm gonna go with the hype train. I tend to go that way. It usually doesn't work out well for me, but I'm picking Sean Brady.
And I mean, I feel it. He hasn't been in any close fights yet. Everything has been dominant, start to finish for Sean Brady, and he's looked really good in every single contest. And like a guy who's clearly getting better too, despite already being pretty dominant. And if we look over at Tapology, 60%, excuse me, is rolling with Brady. Majority of it is copper. They think that submission is likely. You touched on the stand up a little bit. There is a sliver of brown going with that Brady KO. Do you think that the Brady KO might be an interesting play? Because I tend to think that you're right in the fact that he's probably going to have that stand-up advantage, right? I mean, Brady's a dude who hits hard. Kies is more of a volume striker and is trying to pressure you, take him down to the ground. Do you think
Yep.
that Kies is going to have any success getting this to the ground? And if not, is that going to be a Sean Brady KO? Is that possible?
It'll be interesting because I mean he took Vicente Luque down I would say pretty easily, or he got him down. Didn't keep him there for long and got choked out. The fact that he can get Luque down makes me believe that Kiss is on the top of wrestling. I think he could Brady down, but if Brady's as hype as I think he is, I think Brady stuffs every takedown just like Kamaru Usman would if this was a fight. I'm putting Brady up there. I think he's the next goat. It's just a matter of time whenever Usman retires.
Yeah, I feel that, and there's a lot of people who are bullish on Brady. I mean, this is a guy who looks pretty dominant. If we notice, though, I mean, 40% is rolling with Chiesa, so it's not like it's, an 80-20 or a 90-10. There are a lot of people out there rolling with the Maverick, and they actually think that, there's probably 21% of it is copper for the submission. Do you think that Chiesa could have the advantage on the ground, or are you pretty much dead set on Brady having the advantage wherever this thing goes?
Yeah, no, he definitely could have the advantage on the ground. This is truly going to be a levels test. It's just going to show, hey, Kiesa's still no joke, and he's going to smack Brady around. Or Brady's going to say, yo, I am basically Hamzat almost on his level, and welcome to my world. And you get smashed pretty bad. That's what I'm predicting, though. But it wouldn't surprise me if we just see a a Chiesa versus Neil Magny type of fight, where he just kind of holds him and smothers him down and gets the unanimous by points and just dominating. Um, it's gonna be interesting to see Sean Brady get put through the ringer. That's if it goes the distance. I tend to think it's going to get finished in the first or second round, though.
I feel that, and I'm just, yeah, my greatest question is, what this fight looks like on the ground, right? Because Sean Brady is a thick boy, massive welterweight. I mean, this guy hasn't fought at lightweight since 2014, and it was just one fight. Moved up to welterweight, got wins over Rocky Edwards and a couple others, and he's been a big 170 since then. Whereas we know the Maverick is a more evolved welterweight, right? This is a guy who fought at lightweight for a long time, and which is crazy. I mean, because he's a big dude himself, but kind of built differently than Brady. So very interested to see who has the strength advantage in this one. Because you mentioned the length of Chiesa, but who's going to have the strength down there is what I'm
Yeah,
wondering. So ultimately, I hear your points. They're well taken. I'm bullish on Brady as well, but I don't know. Something tells me that Chiesa is going to find a way to veteran himself a victory in this one. I think he's going to be able to survive, maybe win a couple rounds. I see this being a close competitive fight, but I just am rolling with the pissed off Chiesa to come in this one very angry, not going to allow himself to get his spot taken by this young killer. And I think it's going to be a levels test. So if ultimately Brady comes in here and walks through Chiesa, then he's going to be on that list of guys that I can't pick against anymore, right? Because I have a lot of respect for Michael Chiesa, and if Brady makes light work of him, then it's going to be tough to pick against him in the future, even against those like top three, top five killers. So super stoked for this co-meet. I'm gonna roll with Chiesa though. You got Brady. Any last thoughts?
no, this is one heck of a fight, and I don't blame you for picking it. I would say honestly, with those kind of odds, it's probably the safer fight because I mean safer play because we know Kiesa's the man. It's kind of just like Hamza. It's that X factor, but that's what makes it exciting, and that's what I like to go for. So I'm all about the hype trains, and I'm gonna ride this one. But let us know in the comments. You going with the hype train, Tom Brady, or you going with Maverick Chiesa?